Welcome to this week's edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. I am your host, Lance Fishel. Great card to talk about this week. Great pay-per-view, a lot of good fights, a lot of fun action fights. We had some fights last week. I think they were okay. Okay? You think that's a good?
Oh yeah. That was a good card.
They're pretty good.
Ended on a high note.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I thought that fight was
Good
okay.
fight. It was a
All
good
right.
fight.
I don't know. I wasn't jumping out of my chair.
I
Who
thought
do you think won the fight? Who did you score it for?
it was a really good fight.
It was good.
I mean,
Maybe I'm mad. I think I watched it the next day. I didn't watch the co-main and the main till the next day, and I think when you aren't watching it live, it just hits different.
Yep.
So maybe that's it. In terms of the scoring, I scored it for Tsarukyan, but I had absolutely no problem with the decision. Would be how I would put it.
Yeah. I mean, I had a large amount riding on one side, so I was definitely biased as hell scoring it. I scored it for Gamrot, but yeah, I mean that was a close fight, man. It was a close. The rounds were close. If that would have came out 49-48 for Tsarukyan, you couldn't complain one bit about that. And I don't think you can complain, even if you was on Tsarukyan. I don't think you can complain one bit the other way. I thought the fight was outstanding, man. You're talking two of the top of the top highest level dudes at that division. It's great to watch. It wasn't exciting, I think, as some people was thinking it was going to be, but as far as being technical and dudes showing their skills to the highest level, it was fucking awesome in that regard.
I guess when I'm excited for a fight in a main event, I'm looking for to make it a great fight for me, I need moments. I need really big moments.
Definitely.
I need someone badly hurt, something crazy happen, almost finishes. To me, that's what I'm looking for out of a great fight. This fight was technically sound. These guys are both obviously good. It was okay. You can have two great fighters that put on a competitive fight and not be amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of the scrambles in this one, but the people on the Tsarukyan side seem to be pretty butthurt about the decision. And they're talking about the stats. And so here's what I'm wondering these days in MMA scoring. So it's all about damage, right? So Tsarukyan allegedly has this knockdown in round 4 where he landed a spinning back fist while Gamrot was throwing a kick and sort of fell over. But if there's no damage, it's kind of just like a takedown, isn't it? It's a change of position with nothing happening because of it. The guy wasn't actually hurt at any point. So why are people acting like he was on death's doorstep because of a strike that knocked him over? Tiny.
It was a close fight. I gave Tsarukyan the first 3.
I get what Brad's saying though. We're starting to try to get into the weeds of scoring and shit. And you are having really close competitive fights, especially a lot of main events this year have been really, really close and competitive. But Brad's right. We're getting into the weeds. And even when we are, people that still know what they're talking about are picking and choosing the things out of it to where it makes it their guy won a close fight. When, like Brad said, how do you interpret that? How do you, and they were using that knockdown as the big moment of the fight. How do you interpret that kind of stuff, man? So
close fight, a close fight like this, I don't see how either side is met. I had a bet on Tsarukyan. I had him to finish the parlay. But how could I complain about that, right? It was a coin flip fight. I do wish there was more consistency, not as much night for night, but week for week. And I saw some people tweet about this, take down some nights win you fights. Sometimes they don't mean anything. And I think being more consistent, not from everyone always talks about betting and blah blah blah. Not for who gives a fuck about me? I'm talking about for the fighters
careers and
and game planning. Not even did they get the wrong decision or not, but is it worth going for takedowns if you can't control someone and land a ground pound? Is it worth expending the energy if you take him down and hold him for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, but don't throw any punches? That it means absolutely nothing. You might as well save your energy. And I think every week, every night, we're seeing differences in how it's being scored. And I'm fine with takedowns not meaning as much as they used to, unless you're doing damage. And I think, everything else. But if the week before they did matter, it's kind of hard to figure out, like, okay, these close rounds, how do I score them? And it's easy to say, well, don't make close rounds. Like, when you get top level,
Yeah,
like,
you're going to have a lot of.
There's going to be close rounds in big fights, in close fights. And I think this was one of them. Because even, I saw most people probably score like the automatic, like 1 and 2. A lot of people scored for Tsarukyan, 4 and 5 for Gamrot. 3 was, I think, kind of the little bit of the question mark, I could say. But in reality, they were all close. Like, there wasn't any blowout rounds. There was nothing that was even like there was nothing that I would throw up about in any of those rounds. Like, even the first 2 rounds for Tsarukyan, like, Gamrot had his moments too. Like, it wasn't like these blowout rounds. It was a close fight, all 25 minutes.
I will say one thing that I don't know. I've just watched this shit for so long, and it's still a fight. I'm always gonna have a problem with 2 or 3 jabs outscoring a dude that is on top of you for 3 minutes. I don't care if he's just laying on top of you. I get it. You got to work now. I get damage. But by the scoring criteria everybody's talking about now, if you land 4 jabs on somebody and they take you down and lay on top of you for 4.5 minutes and don't land a punch, the 4 jabs are supposed to outweigh it. That's bullshit. That is not fighting.
Absolutely.
Fighting. If you're on your back with a guy on top of you, he could be putting a forearm into your chin. He is winning the fight. Like, period. I'm always gonna have a problem with that.
I agree, because like the whole thing with I'm against stand-ups. I'm against, not scoring wrestling, because it's like, stop it. If you don't want to be on your back, stop it. If you don't want to be there anymore, get up. If you can't, that's your fucking fault. Like, I think there's too much that outweighs. And I'm fine with the damage stuff. And I do think what I do hate though is guys who do get on top and don't try for subs and don't try for ground and pound.
Yeah,
I'm all for getting on top and throwing ground and pound and trying for subs. But there's some guy. There was a fight like a week ago. I forget who it was, and a guy was on top. He lost the guy that fought Brennan Allen.
Malkoon.
He didn't try to throw punches or go for submissions while he was on top. That's the stuff that I think they're trying to get away from, and I think that is approved by me.
Yeah, and that was scored properly. Like, I had a plus 800 Malkoon decision ticket, and I was like, "Yep, he lost the fight. He didn't do shit."
Yeah, like Brad said though, it's not even night to night anymore. It's week to week where it's different in how they're scoring it. But the bigger problem is it's the same people that's inconsistent. Like, the same judges are even being inconsistent on what they're valuing on a given night. Like, Chris Lee, 1 week, you could lay on a dude and just hump him. He's going to give you the round. The next week, you got to land something. If you wrestle, he's not. It's the same people that's so inconsistent. It's a real problem too.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of bad judging, and we talk about it a lot. But I think when you're screaming about this fight and this is why judging's broken or anything like that, then like, fuck you. Like, and this is not a problem. It's stopping you from enjoying an incredible fight too. If this is all you're thinking about after the fight. Yeah.
Well, it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip fight. That's the worst thing about open scoring that people don't realize yet, because they haven't actually watched fights with open scoring, is if you've got open scoring and you see that a judge fucked up a round, you're not thinking about the fight anymore. Yeah, you're pissed off about how the judge fucked up that round, and you're not paying attention. So, it sucks in general. It doesn't change anything. Yeah.
It doesn't change incompetence. It's not going to change unless they have to. Even if there's no open scoring or open scoring, if they're not going to have to go after and explain their cards to a review board or the press or anybody else, it doesn't matter if you're open scoring it or not. It doesn't. Well,
the people who are proponents for it, like, what are they expecting to happen? Like, the guy who's down 2 rounds, if you're down 2, you probably know you're down 2 rounds. We really see the scoring. It's like that guy's all of a sudden going to become a better fighter.
Yeah, he still sucks. He's down 2 rounds because he sucks.
And it's also like, if you could be down 2 rounds, even if there's a 60% chance you're down 2 rounds, wouldn't you go for a finish anyway? Like, if you don't know, assume you lost the round. Like, open school, it's fucking aerial. Like, never played a sport in my life. And aerial. Like,
then I think it's like Brad said that, like, and what if you're up 2 rounds? how many just cruise moments are we gonna get in fucking MMA if you know you're up 2 rounds? It's gonna run everything.
I mean, like when I was wrestling, I always knew the score. If I was down late in the last period, that doesn't mean it was like, well, this guy that's beating the shit out of me, oh, I'm losing. I better reverse him and stick him.
Yeah,
like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, and I'll give it like James Krause last week on this card or the card before, like one of his fighters, it was probably tied 1-1, and he was in the corner like, you're down 2. You got to go take them out. And it was probably 1-1. I think it ended up being 1-1. They lost the third, but he was like, the coaches got to start doing that. Like, there's so many coaches still that are looking through it like as a fan of their boy almost, and they're like scoring these close rounds for them still, and just because it's your fighter, you got to take that out of it, man.
It should always be the opposite. It should be like any close round, you're losing.
You piece of shit, you lost that. You better fucking turn it around.
I think it was the Brendan Allen fight too. I believe his coach in the third round. I don't remember who it was or who he coaches, but I believe going to the third round, it might have been that fight where he said, "You're down 2, like go get a finish." Like that should always be the signs, because
that was Krause, wasn't that? That might have been the fight I was thinking.
Was it Krause? Yeah,
I believe that was Krause.
Yep. Yeah, or maybe it was after one round. Like I thought he definitely won the round, and they're like, "You lost that one, man. You better go get that back." Like that's what you should always say. And like if you're a smart fighter, that doesn't mean take dumb chances where you're gonna get knocked out. It means fight aggressively and get into a position where you're giving yourself a chance to finish the fight. And you don't need open scoring for that. You just don't. You need fucking eyeballs. Ugh. All right, let's go through the rest of the card from the other night. So women's strawweight division, Vanessa Demopoulos defeated Jinyu Frey. I barely paid attention to this, not gonna lie. I heard it was bad. Oh yeah, it was Henry Hoof. That's right. Yeah,
there you go.
And that was great. It didn't make Allen do anything stupid, but he fought a little more aggressive, and he won the fight.
And he won the round, and he won the decision. Yep.
Yep. Unless my fighter I'm 100% sure my fighter's winning a round, I'm telling him he's clearly down 1-0.
Yeah, unless he beat the shit out of somebody, you know.
Like that was the most embarrassing round ever. I hope it's not a 10-8.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody cared about
I have no thoughts on the chick fight.
Low-level women's MMA, bet the dog. She was plus 230 something and won.
Yeah, I had a little bit on it, but I went in on we all had some sub, and we shouldn't have got cute. We should have just took fucking plus 200 and went on.
Yep. Absolutely.
I do that sometimes. I'm not happy. Like inside the distance, I'm like a plus 200 to get plus 300, and you win.
Yeah, I never do that, and I did it on this fight, and I fucking hate myself.
I mean, there's a little difference from 200 to 900 or whatever.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
All right, then we had bantamweight division, Mario Batista defeating Brian Kelleher. Just a great performance by old Boom there. I don't know why I bet on this guy sometimes. Like he's never good. I think he takes advantage of weak guys and gets finishes. So we think he has this great sub game and he has some power. But anytime he takes even the slightest step up, he gets shot back down. And this was a slight step up. I mean, I don't know if Batista looked good or not. Sure. I thought Kelleher made a horrible mistake that put him in that position, and he got a quick tap.
Yeah, I don't think Kelleher's very good, man. Like you said, when he gets some dudes a little bit below him, he'll perform and win those fights like he should. I don't think Batista's like huge, like great or anything, but I fucked up here, man, too. I just Kelleher at around plus 145 against this guy. It was kind of hard to mess up.
I didn't have
I thought Kelleher would be. I thought Kelleher would be the better wrestler here, and obviously not. And even when he's beating guys now, he's beating them by decision. He used to finish all these dudes, so I think he's on the downslide.
For sure. And then we had I didn't have a good card. I needed Tsarukyan to break even for that in that parlay. I had a bad card. I had a lot of bad reads on this bad boy. But what I got right, flyweight division, Cody Durden defeated JP Baez, whatever his fucking name is. Quick knockout. Right before the card I took doesn't go the distance. It was like minus 110.
I had that pre-fight. Yeah, that was one of my plays. Easiest play of the night. Yeah, dude, you cannot be 125 pounds and have a chin like it. You just can't. Like it's impossible. If you cannot take a punch at 125, you're done. Like you're absolutely done. It's too small.
It's not like fucking Durden's Johnny fucking Lineker either.
No, man.
Like,
I mean, Baz has been, what is it now? It's like 7 times or 8 times in 3 fights. He's been on the mat. That's insane.
He's got great jiu-jitsu and he can finish fights. So you're always intrigued by a guy like him as a dog. Because you're like, hey, if it can hit the ground, but he's unconscious when he hits the ground. So there's not much to do. Like he's just a fucking dead body.
I mean, when your old lady gets banged behind your back, it kind of changes your whole life, man.
Bigger, tougher guy too.
Yeah, it really sucks when there ain't shit you can do about it. You know?
Yeah. All right, bantamweight division. Sergey Morozov defeated Rulian Paiva 29-28 across the board. Missed this one. Paiva, great start. Did he think he gassed out after that second round and give him the takedown? Like he looked so good on the feet, and then third round he was getting worked on the feet.
I don't think he like gassed in the second. He gave up a takedown and couldn't really.
I think he gassed from
that. I mean, probably, but Morozov looked tired in the third too. Like it was a close round, man. It was up for grabs, and Morozov probably went out there and did a little bit more and got it. I'd bet Paiva again at plus 150 tomorrow in that fight. Yeah, I'd do it again.
He looked good in the feet. He had him hurt bad in that first round. Yeah. Didn't really take advantage of it like he should have. And I think that was his shot there. But I don't know. Brad?
I was kind of stuck between divisions. Like he's too big for 125, and he can kind of get bullied by some guys at 135. And in a 10-pound gap between divisions, that's not a good place to be. So I don't know. Maybe he just needs to learn how to cut weight better. Go train in America for a bit and figure out how to get down to 125.
He doesn't look like
he's so skinny. Yeah, there's no way. He's so skinny.
He doesn't look deathly skinny though. He doesn't look as sucked down as guys I see.
Well, I mean, he's like a long, lean guy. I don't know where he's taking.
How tall is he? How tall is he?
He's pretty tall.
5'8".
He's pretty tall for the division, I believe.
Is he that tall? 5'8". So. Wow. All right.
Yeah. 69-inch reach. Nice.
All right. Featherweight division. I forget this. Neuterbike.
The Neuterbike
defeated TJ Brown. I thought he looked good. He was juiced up. It was fucking great. Loved it. Didn't bet this fight.
I mean, you talking about fucking Mongolian fucking mountain rice bowls. Jesus, man.
That was the Mongolian magma.
That dude was dripping. He'd have burnt your fucking house down. You let him use the bathroom. No doubt. Good price, man. I grabbed a little bit. Brad kind of talked me into it on the show, so grabbed a little of the Neuterbike. It was a nice little dog hit.
TJ Brown is not good.
I wish I talked myself into
He's horrible. Yeah, he is horrible, man. That guy, that price was stupid. Like he's so hyped. I don't think they're gonna do it again, but who fucking knows? I don't know what they're seeing in TJ Brown.
It is absolutely terrible. Then we had light heavyweight division. Carlos Olberg defeated Tafon Kinzeku knockout. That was fun. I enjoyed that. That was a big knockout. This kid's got some power. Just when he throws more and he moves forward, he can pretty damn good. He should do that more. But also useless opponent. So
he had to get immediately inside on him. Yeah. Had to, and he didn't. He just stood there at distance and got his shit. I mean, if Olberg's gonna get distance and can throw on you, man, that's that dude can strike. I'm still not convinced. There's still going to be a dude that's going to grab a hold of him and take his ass down and beat the shit out of him.
He's not great. He's got big power. He's got decent kickboxing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Or just a guy with a good chin, like Kenny Nunchucks, who's going to survive it, and then he's going to be just stranded on his feet.
Yeah, that was bad.
I would say Krause is like way better in fight kind of coach guy than getting guys like ready, game plan ready, going into a fight.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
He had this good run for a while where his guys were winning like lower level type fights, and then they stepped up. I don't know if Krause is like this amazing coach or anything. I think he's just more vocal and people likes what he has to say versus more what he's doing.
The times you get to hear him in between rounds, I think he's really good. I think he gives us great. Yeah. I think he gives his guys great advice and stuff in between rounds. Who knows what they're getting in the gym coming into fights? And who knows what kind of training camps he's running?
To
Who
start
knows?
winning in top level, it takes more than like in fight. That shit doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Like other than motivation,
Not as much as pre-fight and getting your dude ready with a game plan and in shape. You know,
I feel like you don't have to be a good coach. Like as a fan, when I sit on the couch, I could probably give fighters advice in between rounds of what he should do differently.
some of those dudes you would think could do that too, but they absolutely fucking suck. Like you do you want this? We need this round. Okay, motherfucker, tell me what I should go out there and do to win this round.
Punch him in the face. Move forward. All right.
But you're right. He can take those regional guys and they can win low-level UFC fights. And
yeah, that's what he did during the, like someone said, during the pandemic, because no one wanted to fight. But that's what happened, right? That was when competition was lower. You had a couple of regional guys battling it out, and you have a good coach, you train with UFC guys, all that stuff, and you're facing a guy that's at some small camp. Then you're probably going to win those fights, motivate him a little bit in rounds. And I just think adjustments during a fight from a coach in MMA are the least important adjustments a coach can make in any sport. And I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, and speaking of like earlier, Henry Hoof, like, I mean, that guy is training you in techniques and everything, game plans, all of it, getting you ready for a fight. That's a world of difference in coaches.
Yep.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you see like a coach say like, throw a left hook off the break or something. Like they can see something that their opponent is doing and they can tell you to do that. But if you haven't already trained for something like that, it's not like you can just invent it in the middle of a fight. I mean, you had to be prepared for it already.
You would hope that an ex-fighter could see little things like that when he's watching a fight from outside of the cage.
All right, middleweight division, Chris Curtis. What a story. This fucking guy. He's retired like 13 times, got fucked on Contender Series, quit twice in one night, and now he's on a 3-fight winning streak. He defeated Rodolfo Vieira, which is a pretty good win. I thought Vieira's striking has looked way better the last couple of fights, and I think he's a lot more dangerous. This is a good win. I think it's a good win for his takedown defense. Looked really good. I was impressed by him. I think it's time. Like he's not a young guy. Like what is he? Like 32 probably, Chris Curtis, something like that.
I think he's like almost 35 probably.
Yeah, I think he's mid 30s.
34. He's 34. He's 34. It's time to give him a step up. Like I think 3 wins in a row at 34, exciting, fun fighter. It's time to give this guy a ranked guy and kind of see what happens. But I did play Curtis, really liked him. So great win.
Yeah, I was a little impressed with definitely Curtis, but also Vieira too, man. Like he didn't gas out like he usually does. He got tired. He definitely got tired in the third, and it cost him the fight. But man, he looked decent on the feet. But props to Curtis, man. Like you talking about turning your shit around. I will say when we broke this down on the show, Curtis is getting fed some dudes that like got some really glaring fucking holes in their games, and he's a good vet that knows how to take advantage of them, and he has. So props to him. I don't know still how convinced I am of Chris Curtis. We'll see, but Lance is right. This is a really good win for Chris Curtis.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think he's a world-class fighter. I mean, you're fighting guys outside of the top 15. You're always like even guys in the top 15, top 10. Like there's always glaring weakness. I think they're more glaring when you're fighting unranked guys, where a lot of those guys might be one-dimensional, or if they are more even, they're not great at anything. Or once you get into the top 10 or 15, it's less holes, and they have one amazing quality. I think Vieira has that amazing quality, but it's paired with very below-average wrestling.
Like. Phil Hawes did too. Like, look at Phil Hawes. Chris Curtis got a guy there that literally beat the ever-living shit out of him for 3 minutes.
Yep.
His glaring hole showed up. Chris Curtis got another win in that spot. So we'll see, man. Like you said, he should get a way better, bigger fight in the next one.
I mean, Phil Hawes, Brendan Allen, and Vieira. That's a good
run.
That's a good.
Absolutely.
That is a good. That's not
Three very flawed fighters, though. Three fighters that you can take
But-
advantage of a big glaring weakness. But great,
In
they
terms-
are good wins, no doubt.
in terms
during
of
the
unranked-
pandemic. During the pandemic, people wanted to give Kevin Holland Fighter of the Year for a worse run than that.
Yeah.
Very true.
Very
Very
true.
true.
Well, I think if you have a winning streak of 3 unranked guys, can't get much better than 3 unranked guys with those names. Like that's an impressive streak from a guy that.
And then Halls and Allen, in hindsight, after those fights against him, have gone on to have some very nice wins and performances.
Yeah, I mean,
Curtis he's got a lot of tools. I mean, he's got obviously good takedown defense. He's got some power. I don't think you can really take a lot away, take his power down too much from this because Vieira's got a stupid chin.
Chin. Yeah, he's like that 5-tool fighter almost. Yeah. He does. He's good all around. And
it's hard to do a lot of things to Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Props to the people that got him by decision at plus 2,200.
2,200.
I think our boy sitting right here like that was going out on a fucking limb and hitting a really nice tick.
That's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, we move on. Bantamweight Umar Nurmagomedov defeated Nate Maness. I took the shot I had to at plus 700 or whatever. Nurmagomedov sucks. He's Russian. Fuck him.
I mean, he showed up this time and really fucking.
That was a sweet decision.
He played it as safe. He played it as safe as he possibly could, man. I ended up a lot of people were betting the decision inside the distance got down to minus 130. He was a minus 1,000 favorite, and a dude that finishes all of the guys he fights up until this point. I had to take it. Me and Sean talked about it, and then goes out there and plays it as absolutely safe as possible. There was multiple times in that fight to where he could have started dropping hammers. He had Mount at one point, just went full boring fucking Russian when he got into a good spot.
Apparently, Magic keeps saying father's plan. I guess father's plan is to have a nap on the couch on Saturday evening. So that's what this fucking one did to me.
Yeah, I fell asleep and missed the last 2 fights and watched them the next day. I had an early tea time, so I wasn't mad. All right. Lightweight division, Thiago Moises defeated Christos Giagos. Submission,
Easy.
First round. Easy. Awkward.
Yep.
I think we all knew that coming in.
Stupid price.
I didn't expect it to be this easy.
I thought it would take a little bit of time, but I thought he was going to be better wherever he felt like it.
Yeah, Giagos is. I don't know why people were thinking he was fucking any good, any kind of be competitive with fucking Moises. Moises fucking good, man. He's still young too. Don't write that guy off at 155.
He's good. Yeah, I mean, he fought some tough guys and he lost. He's still
real tough guys. Yep.
Makhachev, who everyone thinks is the second coming of Christ until Dubronx literally tears his head from his body, and then Joel Alvarez, tough guys, and he's still there. I think he's still a top fighter. Heavyweight division, Josh Parisian defeated Alan Badeau, knockout second round. Pretty hilarious fight. Parisian gets taken down, beat up, and then just comes out and decides to win the fight. Heavyweight MMA, man.
I mean, he moved into he had to move into the top 5 of Brad's division. I mean, he's knocking on the door of a
t-shirt in the pool division
of a shirt shot. So, man, I really thought that was gonna fucking get to going over for us, but Parisian just he's too good. He's too fucking good.
Too good. Just too much talent. You can only keep talent down for so long.
He earned his rematch against Porky Porker for the t-shirt in the pool strap.
Is he still
it's one of those straps
UFC?
that you put in in the back of a tank top to hold the tits in place. One of those
Porter
kind of straps.
Still in the UFC?
Of course he is. Porter beat both these guys.
Yeah, he's got wins, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Porky's he's a contender.
Also, we got to talk about this for a second. But Wes, I know you thought this was gonna go over 2.5, get to decision. Wrong card. That was PFL on Friday night, where all of those fat fucks went to decision. Incredible.
it was like the perfect storm of all of these years of fatties
Yeah.
showed up in one night, and we had a room full of dudes just hitting overs, plus monies. Brad gets the full card fatties ticket. My God, just
dream
funny.
come true. Dream come true.
that was fantastic. Good time.
Shave Cat defeated Neil Magny submission. Just easy work for Shave Cat here. I think it's legit. I mean, Magny, you know, I've never been super high on Magny, but he usually puts up a better fight. So impressive. We'll see. And then Shave Cat called out 3 40-year-olds. So that's good to see.
Yeah, that
sucked.
That's the opposite of what you do when you get a win over like a known guy and make it look easy. You call out a fucking contender. You don't call out a bunch of wash dudes. What a loser.
Shave Cat is incredible, and doing Magny like I don't care how old Magny is, and we said it on the show, like Magny is that gate to get into the top 10, and it's a tough one because Magny is still fucking a really tough out.
Yeah.
Man, he destroyed him. I got a little sub on that too. That was nice. I think a lot of people even thought it was going to take 15 here, and Shave Cat's good.
Yep.
He is very good. Yeah, not a lot to add on that one. Just like one-way traffic the whole time, and I don't remember the last time that happened to Magny.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take much for him to get a shot in that division now that Usman's beat almost everybody. He starts calling out fucking retirees and shit like an idiot.
Like call out someone in the top 5. Like
yeah, one win against a guy in the top 5, and you're probably next in a title shot. Like
Shave
that quick.
Cat's better than Cum Shot. That's for sure.
I mean, like there's guys out there that you can call out. You know, like there's a bunch of guys out there that you can fight. Like why not call out Cum Shot?
Yeah, get him next coming off of fucking that fight. I mean, that he just had.
But what he did. I would have done anything but what he did. Call out anyone in the top 5 is what he should have done by name. But anyway, we already talked about the main event, so that'll do it. That's a wrap for that. We're now going to move on to UFC 276, Adesanya versus Cannonier. Really strong card. I'm looking forward to this card. There's some action fights in the prelims. I think the pay-per-view is solid. I'm probably not as excited about the co-main and main event as some, but I'm still excited, I would say. Volk and Max have put on some really sleepy performances together, so I'm not expecting big things out of that fight. But yeah, overall, I think it's a good card. So let's go ahead and jump in the women's bantamweight division, just starting off with bangers. Jessica Rose Clark versus Joja Stoliarenko. That's pretty good pronunciation. Brad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me first.
Oh,
what do we have here?
I was just kidding. I was just fucking with Wes. Wes, you got to go first.
I'll go first. I don't have much on this card. Hey, I will say that Stoliarenko is probably the worst chick on the entire roster of the UFC.
That's saying a lot.
So she's gonna win.
No, I think she gets fucking smoked there. I'm not touching this fight, but depends on how much wine I've had early in the day. Jessica Rose Clark inside is some decent plus money. I think she smokes this shit.
Bradley?
All right, so I get it. Some people have like the tattoo thing. She's kind of cute, but she sucks at fighting. She's not good. I mean, she just got armbarred in the first round by something called Stephanie Egger. I thought that was a brunch restaurant I went to, but apparently it's a UFC fighter. And Joja Stoliarenko has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All of her wins are by armbar.
Ooh.
I mean,
have you seen these chicks?
Doesn't matter. Have you seen Stephanie Egger? Yeah,
yes.
I saw her.
Yeah,
I saw her flipping my bacon on Sunday.
So any fight that old girl has had inside the UFC compounds, the Tough Show or in the UFC, she is getting the shit fucking kicked out of her. She is so bad. I'm not saying Jessica Rose Clark is good, but I see where Brad's going with this. I'm not gonna argue with him. I see where he's going.
Same as always, low-level women's MMA
What's the
dog.
line?
This time, I mean, I'm not. Fuck it. I'm gonna fall into the exact same trap I did last week, and I'm gonna play the underdog by sub,
What's the line on it?
like 700 or something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Clock
Not
inside
bad.
the distance.
Oh no, it's moved now. Sorry, it was sub in round 1 was 700.
Hmm.
Sub is just 350.
I have
Fucking water
absolutely
show.
no opinion. I'll take I like Brad's thinking on this one. Hey, Aaron.
Steph Yeager has
anyway,
great French toast.
Brad Tavares versus Drickius the Plessis.
I'm not even gonna try.
Not even close.
Not even gonna try.
Plessis.
You got to say it with the Matt Damon Invictus accent.
See, Ager's legit.
Drickius Duplessis.
Wes, Ager's legit. ADCC Europe and went to decision with Gabby Garcia, who's bigger than all of us combined.
How much money did they pay Gabby Garcia to
let her finish?
To let her. Have you seen that woman? Like,
and a great French toast.
Do you subscribe to Gabby Garcia's OnlyFans?
Ooh, now that's 5 stars on Yelp.
Do you want to go? You want to go splitsies on it?
I mean, I know. Receiving.
I know our boy Maz is starting to get into the doing tape study for women's MMA, and his first place he goes is his OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you got to. You need motivation in life. All right,
the K Hansen screenshots out there just.
She's not even good looking. It's so weird. Is she like naked on there now?
She's on there now.
She's banging on there for money.
That went quick.
It's gone
like
downhill real.
Whoa, what is it? It's like $200 for like 20 minutes though, so it's like way more than she'll ever make.
$200 for like 22 seconds.
Oh, it's like way more money than she'll ever see getting punched in the face.
People
now she's just get punched in the other side.
Allegedly.
Why would you pay for that? She's not even attractive.
I don't get why anybody pays for any of it. There's literally, you can get as much fucking of that shit as you want for free on the internet. Why pay for it?
90% of the internet is porn.
Yeah, what are we doing? Jesus.
You got me. All right, Wes.
Am I going? Yeah, man, I'm.
It is.
That's what my wife tells me every now and then.
Very respectable amount of. How do you say this guy? How do we pronounce his name? I've seen him fight a bunch. I really like him.
Drickius Duplessis.
Duplessis.
What's his nickname?
Still Knox.
We'll call him Still Knox. Not a good nickname.
What? No, that's bad.
We should give him a new nickname.
Yeah.
Is he talking about his car stereo system, or is that his fighter nickname? Nah. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, man. I think Tavares had a couple okay wins, man, but I think he's starting to get a little old, man. Hasn't fought in a year. It was Amarian. I know he beat Shoeface. Shoeface went over to PFL. Started eating massive.
He could have won $1 million. He beat the entire PFL division.
He
at light heavyweight too.
If old Brad Tavares was smart, Amarian is got like 3 or 4 fights since even Tavares when they fought last. Like, that is not good, man. It's been a year off, and I think though Duplessis isn't bad, man. I'm like, when I seen that's a good win over Chevin Giles, and he just absolutely fucking smoked that dude. I mean, Marcus Perez is a bum, but showed pretty good skills, man. I'm not sure exactly how this fight plays out. I just feel like Duplessis is gonna outwork Tavares here. Maybe even catch him with something, man, and hurt him in this spot. Before his last 2 wins, he got pretty smoked by Edmond, and that dude turned out to not be so great. So maybe I don't know. Tavares just had a really couple good fights, man. I like old Duplessis there. I'm gonna take a small shot. I think he could possibly get Tavares out of there, man. I don't know what to think of Tavares at 34 years old at this point.
Did they cut Edmund yet? That was a fall from grace, super quick.
No, he did finally move camps though. I think
He lost like a
Oh, there
shit
you
ton of
go.
fights.
he finally left Edmond. I'm not sure if it was before his last fight or not, but he finally did leave. No, it was after that fight because I seen an interview where he was talking about how he hasn't talked to Ronda or any of them. He just kind of got up and left. That's the smartest thing he's ever done in
Good for
his
him.
life.
Good for him.
Yeah. Brad, who you got?
I like Drickus. Duplicity here. Multiplicity. Michael Keaton. I think
Damn,
that
going back.
he's gonna make Brad Tavares see some multiplicity in this one because Tavares gets hit a lot these days for a long time. I think we might need to check with our boy Aaron to see if Tavares is actually Hawaiian and not like Brazilian or something like that, because the Hawaiian part of his chin left him a long time ago, and he's stuck with whatever's left over at this point. So he's gonna get hurt here. I'm gonna bet Drickus minus 125. I think that is kind of a bargain in this spot. But I'm also going to take a little sprinkle on sub at plus 1800 because he's got a bunch of subs. He's shown throughout his regional scene career that he's willing to actually go for subs. He's got a good guillotine if Tavares takes a sloppy shot after he gets hurt. So I think there's some potential there for Drickus to tap him after he hurts him. So we're going to take Drickus minus 125 and sub plus 1800.
You offended Aaron. I don't like Tavares very much here. He's never been a great fighter to me. I think it was more he had some good matchups, worked his way up, got into the rankings. Like you said about the Edmund fight, I think we thought, Edmund was good. He ended up sucking ass. So that's even worse there. And I think Duplessis he's dangerous. He is a dangerous fighter. He's a big brute. He's got big power.
Fucking Jack.
He's
Dude, Jack.
big fucking dude. And I don't think Tavares can take many of those shots. I don't know about the sub prop. I get where you're coming from. But Tavares has never been subbed. I guess he's hurt. There's possibility he can, Duplessis can grab a neck. But I think he's just going to beat the shit out of Tavares and get like a finish against the cage or something like that. I don't see this going too long. I'm probably just going to play it straight. It's minus 125, minus 130, somewhere in there. So I think it's still playable without having to go the inside the distance route. But I don't think inside the distance is a bad play because I do think more times than not he is going to get that. But Tavares has been pretty tough. He can survive. So he might be able to take the beating up into the bell, but I don't think so. But I think this is a very bettable on Duplessis. So that's what I'll be betting on this fight.
The sub prop doesn't matter anymore because I gave out a fraud line at about 4 o'clock today. It moved down to plus 1,000. I moved it with my my Mason bucks so he can steal some more of my Bitcoin.
There you go. All right, women's flyweight, Jessica Eye, Macy Barber. I don't give a shit. Wes?
Yeah, I'm not betting this fight. Jessica, I have no clue. She's one of those where we just have no idea how she's still on this roster. Macy Barber absolutely fucking sucks, though. I think she wins by decision. If you have to bet this fight, I think it's Barber by decision at around even money.
How is I still getting fights?
I don't know, man. I have no fucking idea.
That's bad. Macy Barber is shitty, but better. But still. This got to be it for I, though. It'd be 5 of 6. Brad?
You mean former title contender Jessica Eye?
True.
The only chick that can make fucking old girl exciting. Like, that's not a great look.
Tough.
No. Even still, I mean, Macy Barber shouldn't be. We've learned this lesson multiple times before. She shouldn't be a big favorite against anyone. She could blow any fight, and
The algorithm.
and eventually get to her future career. We all know what that is. It's in her name. It's meant to be. Jessica Brown Eye by decision.
Yeah, this guy sucks. She's so bad at fighting. No qualities there. Who would pay for Jessica I's OnlyFans though? Like, she's not famous and not attractive. Who's like, oh my god, the Jessica I pics are out. Here's my
The
credit card.
same people that pay for the Kay Hansen one.
But Kay Hansen's like kind of a little bit cute, I guess, in a weird redneck lives in a trash can way. Jessica I thought she was trans.
Oh god.
That's why I bought her OnlyFans, and I was unpleasantly surprised.
That's why you and our boy Matt Vinko went in on the sub for that, huh?
Yeah, we split all the trans OnlyFans. It's really it's a good market out there. Like, I get it. I'm into it. So that's Jessica I really false advertisement, you know. Anyway. All right, middleweight division. Uriah Hall versus Andre Muniz. Wesley.
Yeah, I think our boy Uriah Hall, it's gonna take some Calcutta shit to get out of this one alive. Yeah, I think Andre Muniz is really fucking good, man. I mean, is this just a slight step up from like Eric Anders at this point? Like, is Uriah Hall? I mean, I don't think the dude's just that good anymore. He's fighting old dudes like Chris Weidman, brittle bones, breaking his own leg and shit on him. Like,
Weidman's coming back for that belt. Say what the fuck you want. Adesanya's fuck.
I saw the Weidman Jacare
yeah,
stoppage. Somebody
saw
posted that video.
posted.
Oh my god,
dude! Because it was Mark Liotta literally like he like stopped it, then backed up, and Jacare hits fucking Weidman like 2 more times and looks at him,
taps him on the shoulder like, dude, what the fuck's going on here? Oh,
but
that's
man,
an all-timer.
Only Trans is running a BOGO special for Pride Month, so.
Oh, there you go. Pride.
Weidman had him.
Whew. Yeah, I like Muniz in this spot. I think he's a pretty good parlay piece at this point. I think Uriah Hall's about done. Muniz gets this done probably about however he wants, but got to think sub. So I don't know what the sub line is, but I'll probably just
-110.
I'm probably just going to take the money line. I like another spot on the card that I'm going to put him with. So I like Muniz here, probably by sub.
Brad.
I like Muniz as well.
So good.
Kind of going the other way though. I think Uriah
Chad
Hall
is wilding out tonight.
Spinning kick, Brad. Spinning body kick.
We'll see what exactly it is, but Uriah Hall has only not been stopped in a loss once in the last 5 years, and that was against the SS man himself, Sean Strickland, who can't finish a fucking sentence. Never mind a lunch. He can't finish like the lunch size salad. That's Sean Strickland for you. So everybody else knocked Uriah Hall out. Andre Muniz, I know that primarily he's a grappler, but he's got some hands on him too. So
yep.
Muniz, TKO, +500, +525. We'll round robin that with some other stuff.
I saw that and I knew that that's where you were going. That +500. I knew it.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah, I like Muniz here. I wasn't gonna play the sub line. I wasn't, unless it was something crazy, but at -110, whatever. Yeah. I'm probably just gonna play inside the distance. It's only -160, so I'll probably throw that in a parlay. I think he's getting a finish. Like, there's absolutely no way Uriah Hall is surviving 15 minutes with this guy, and it could be a knockout on the ground. He could throw some ground and pound, get him out of there. I think he's gonna be able to take him down. He's just a finisher, man. Uriah Hall likes getting finished. He's not there for the long haul. So I do like Muniz. -160 seems very fair on the inside the distance there. So that's what I'll be playing. All right. Those were the prelims. I mean, not bad. You get Jessica I, Georgia, Stoliarenko. There's a lot to like on these prelims.
You
All
get
right,
Jessica
so
Eye and you don't even have to pay for it.
actually, one of them
Wow.
probably moved up because it's only showing 3 fights on the. Which one got moved up? Was that Hall? I assume.
I
Hall
would
Muniz?
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welterweight. Oh, actually, this order's all fucked. Is Jimmy
Wait.
Miller Cerrone? Didn't that move to the main card, or was that? Oh, that was Lawler that got moved to the main card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are these the prelims that are on ABC or whatever, or is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know
yeah.
what the fourth one is though. Let me look. So I have next. I'm just looking at old Wikipedia.
No, I think that was the first one of the ABC prelims, and the next 3 are the other ones.
So Uriah Hall, the first one, and then Jimmy fucking Miller.
Yep.
All right. Welterweight division. Jimmy Miller, welterweight division. I mean, come on. I get it. He's fighting a lightweight, but Jimmy Miller is a small fella. So interesting. Welter. He's gonna have to gain weight for this fight.
He's gonna weigh in at 162.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he's small. Versus the ghost of Cowboy Cerrone. Wes.
Yeah, and I think that point there is probably why our boy Sean is actually playing Cowboy in this spot. I can't see it. What's Cowboy gonna look like though? He cut to 155 like a month ago, turned around, cut to 155 again 2 weeks ago, and looked like I said he looked like a newborn, but 100 years old at the same time. Like it didn't look natural. And now he's at 170 where he's had 2 weeks to fuck off and doesn't have to worry about cutting weight, which he's probably not staying in great shape and filming another fucking Fox Now straight to DVD fucking video. I gotta like fucking our boy here, Jimmy Miller, man. I think Miller inside the distance, man. I don't think this fight goes 15 minutes. There's just absolutely no fucking way. I don't see a bunch of prop lines out yet for this fight for some reason.
I don't know what the fuck to line it.
I'd like to see Jimmy Miller by KO actually, because I could see him catching Cowboy here, man. Like Cowboy is beyond gone. Like I know Miller's gonna be outsized here, but he's still a fucking fighter, man. Like it's kind of the same breakdown as we gave this fight with Joe Lozon and Cowboys. The same shit. One dude's still training to fight. The other dude is making fucking movies and shit. So then put on top of it the 2 weight cuts, moving up to 170 now. I think you gotta like Miller in this spot. Like inside the distance, but I put Jimmy Miller with Muniz as one of my parlays with Muniz, and I'll probably play Jimmy Miller by KO whenever that line comes out.
So they moved the Tavares to Plessis fight, not the Hall fight. So the Hall fight's still on the first set of prelims.
Oh.
So the 2 chick fights are starting off. So really, you can just like wait an hour to start watching.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I think Tapology has the right lineup, and FightOdds.io's got the right lineup too.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll get there eventually.
Brad?
I wish that I could love Jim Miller in this fight. And like I probably should.
It's not Lozon, though,
man. Not Lozon, not at the right weight class, minus 200 instead of like the plus 140 we were getting Lozon at. I'll wait and see what the props are, but like Wes said, if that TKO prop isn't huge, I don't think that Miller's going to get a lot of takedowns and end up subbing Cerrone or anything like that. I think he's content to play fights out on the feet these days. And even shop worn, cut weight a couple times. Like if this was back down at 155, I'd probably like Miller more. The fact that it's up at 170, if this plays out on the feet, I could see Cerrone winning a decision. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that he was competitive with, a real massive welterweight in Nico Price. I don't know what the hell. They're both born in the USA, and he walks out to Bad Moon Rising anyway. It's the wrong song. What is this?
Springsteen.
We fucked up and let Lance get his office together. Now he's got
Yeah.
sound and all kinds of shit.
Oh fuck!
No, that was on my cell phone.
He's gonna have a sound. He's gonna have a soundboard next week, folks. He's gonna be pumping it.
Or you're usually using that cell phone to look at bets and the actual card for the first time this week.
Well, I put the fights on. I got the screen over here. I just look at best fight odds over here.
I know. Now you got like
gambling sites.
You got like 3 fucking screens
same.
now.
Cerrone decision. Gonna play Cerrone and Toutmaster, but no bet on it as of right now.
Jim Miller is going to fuck up Cerrone. Bad. Just bad. I think Miller's looked good. He's looked good his last couple fights. His hands are still there. Cowboy has gotten so slow on the feet that he can be hit so hard and he can be hit pretty easily. And his chin is just absolutely gone. Cowboy's not going to be able to, I think, go to the wrestling on this one. I think it's going to be on the feet. And I think Jimmy Miller is just going to put it on him. I think Cowboy is beyond washed. Like, I'm actually scared to watch this man get punched in the face. And Miller's been hitting guys. He's been knocking guys out. His power seems almost improved. And I think no weight cutting here for Jimmy, which he hasn't cut a lot anyway. And I think Cowboy's hittable. And I think he's got absolutely no chin left. So I like the inside the distance. It's plus 105 right now on Jimmy Miller. And I think this is going to be an easy one. I think this is it for Cowboy. I think this is the last time we see Cowboy until his bare knuckle boxing debut.
You think Jimmy's gonna pull the old Eve Edwards on the scale and like pull out a cheeseburger while he's weighing in?
I've told the story where I just towered over the man.
We've heard it once or twice.
He hasn't been the same really since I shook his hand.
Well, that's why I can't. That's why the sub nut isn't gonna happen. We know he doesn't have the grip anymore. That's why he's had to knock people out.
This was like a long time ago, but I think he still got PTSD just from feeling a real fucking forearms feel like, like you guys can't even imagine what this grip can do. So, R.I.P. Jimmy. But yeah, love Jimmy here. Good one. All right. Well, I'm still going by whatever the fuck order's on here. Welterweight division: Ian Garry, Gabriel Green. Wes.
Yeah, I don't have much on this fight. Don't have a really good read on it. I'm still not the biggest Ian Garry fan. I think he's looked pretty average in his first couple UFC fights, in my opinion. The old insulin kid was giving him every fucking bit of it for most of a round until he did some dumb shit and got knocked out. Last performance was pretty average. Gabe Green's tough, man. Gabe Green's tough, and Gabe Green throws fucking hammer. So who knows, man? It could get interesting. I think the line should probably be closer. I'll say that. I'll probably be picking Gabe Green and Toutmaster. Just mainly more of a fade. I'm just not sold on Ian Garry yet, like a lot of people are. I think Gabe Green's a tough dude that can hit hard.
Brad.
Yeah, Ian Garry kind of sucks, and I think this is the first time that he's fighting somebody with a pulse. And not only does he have a pulse, but he's got a good chin. He's willing to come forward and throw. Garry has terrible tall guy defense. I think that Gabe Green's going to land some shots on him. I don't know if he's going to actually get him out of there, but I'll take Gabe Green. And this line's creeping up. You got that stupid Irish people money, the potato money coming in, and Gabe Green's up to plus 160 in this. I think I'm going to have to take a shot on that, because if I don't do it now, we might miss the blooming of the fade plant here.
Yeah, I do think this is a tough fight to go with Garry with the line, and I don't think I'm like a big Garry fan. I feel like this is just one of those fights that Garry didn't have the greatest, hasn't looked amazing in certain areas. And I think this just feels like one of the fights where everyone wants to bet against the prospect. Green's a good guy. He's got some decent hands. So everyone is going to bet against Garry here, and Gary's going to win the fight. that's just how I see this thing going, because it feels like every time we have this hyped up prospect that everyone thinks sucks, and then he gets to face a decent guy, he wins. And I think that's what we're going to see here. So I get why people are playing Green. He is a dangerous guy. He's got some good hands, but I think Garry ultimately is going to win this fight. So I think it's going to be one of those looks like value dies kind of situations. So that's my thought. All right, lightweight division: Brad Riddell, Jalen Turner. Wes.
Yeah, this is it's a pretty fun fight. I like Brad Riddell as a fighter quite a bit. I wasn't really sold on Brad Riddell coming up into his last fight. His last fight was a loss, and I came out of that fight actually pretty sold on the dude. I think he looked amazing in his last fight against one of the best dudes in the division at this point. And going against Jalen Turner, man, like Jalen Turner's beating up fucking dudes that should be stocking fucking baby formula off the trucks.
Dude,
like,
he beat Brock Weaver.
I mean,
broke Weaver.
He beat Malarkey. God damn, talk about a step up
Jamie
from fucking Brock Weaver. Yes, talk about a step up. It's the same guy though that Matt Favela fucking out wrestled and shit and out grinded. Brad Riddell's takedown defense is ridiculous. He's got decent offensive wrestling. He hits like a fucking truck. I think he's gonna take Jalen Turner out of this fight, man. So we're getting Brad Riddell at what is it, like plus 115, plus 120 against Jalen Turner, coming off of a performance like that against Fiziev, man. Like, I gotta take that. If I'm wrong and Jalen Turner's like this freak that everybody's saying he is because he's fucking tall, so be it. I think Riddell's gonna test that tall guy defense in this fight, and I think he's gonna get Turner out of there myself. So I gotta take that dog money.
Brad.
Yeah, Riddell up to plus 130 at Bet Online right now makes no sense to me. One of these guys in their last 3 fights has fought Fiziev, Drew Dober, last 4 fights, even if you want to go back further. Alex De Silva, who got cut from the UFC for no reason, because that guy's actually pretty fucking good. And Magomed Mustafayev, who I assume people think is great. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's Russian. And I think that's the dude that actually knocked out Fizzy Pop, isn't it? So
yes,
might be all right. He hasn't
fought in like 2 years.
Visa issues. He's too busy trying to get a visa to invade Ukraine.
Yeah. He's interrogating fucking POWs is what he's doing.
Yeah, so he's fought some good guys. He's been in competitive fights with all of them, won most of them, and Jalen Turner has fought Malarkey, Medic, and Broke Weaver, and Josh Kulabau, who's like, isn't that dude like a bantamweight? He's just a little feller.
Yeah.
So a little bit different here, and for some reason, after looking at all of that, because Turner has finished all those bums that he's fought, he's the favorite here. I just don't get it. I feel like Riddell is a top 15 lightweight already, and Turner very much is not. I see Steve posted the Inside the Distance plus 260 in the chat.
Yes.
Honestly, I just took the money line. I'll take Riddell plus 130. I think that's just the wrong guy favored in this fight. So I'm on Brad Riddell. It's actually going to be a 2-unit bet for me. Ooh.
Yeah, I like Riddell a good bit here. I think this is a fight that's going to play out in the feet, and I don't think these guys are in the same world on the feet. It's as simple as that. Riddell is a great striker. Saw the Fiziev fight. We've seen him in other fights. Yeah, even in the Dober fight, like that was a tough fight. And Drew Dober is a tough guy. Like he's had some big wins, and Turner hasn't been facing good guys. And I think Turner does have an obvious jiu-jitsu advantage, but it's not getting there. I don't think he has any hope of getting him down. I think Turner's best strategy is keep it tight and clinch him, push him against the cage, but that's not really how he fights. And I think it's going to be an open space, and Riddell's just a much better striker, and Turner is hittable. He's got that tall man defense, and I think at plus money, that's absolutely insane. So love Riddell here. This will be Munich. So we love this one. Riddell, plus money, take it. All right, let's move up. This is the fucking so weird they bumped this fight up. With all those fights we just talked about, we're opening the card with Bobby fucking Lawler versus Brian Barberena. Get the fuck out of here, Wes.
Brutal Bob and Bearded Babs? What?
Yeah,
You're gonna complain about this one?
I'm excited.
Fight on the card.
I'm excited for this fight. I think Barberena's gonna do Barberena shit, and he's gonna come forward. I hope he's real sloppy, and I hope Bob's got some time in his old body to throw some fucking bombs on this dude. I don't think Barberena's good, man. Like, he's tough. Matt Brown was fucking beating his dome in. I mean, you don't think Bob Lawler ain't gonna fucking be throwing shit on this guy? Like, I like Robbie Lawler here. Like, it's not very fucking big or anything, but I'm putting a small bet on Robbie Lawler here against a dude that is not very good, man. Might be sweating it if Robbie can't catch him and hurt him with something, because Barberena is a fucking maniac and will keep coming for 15 minutes. So we'll see. It's more heart than anything, but it's about as good a matchup as Robbie could get outside of Nick Diaz.
I almost forgot that fight happened.
I still haven't actually watched that one.
When Nick decided he was no more.
Yeah, don't watch it. Yeah, it's the best matchup Robbie could have ever gotten in his life.
Stop ducking me, Usman. Fucking bullshit.
Dude, that dude is. I'm not even gonna say the bad word of it, but he's got brain problems.
He's the dumbest human I've ever heard speak. That Nick Diaz.
Man,
he makes Nate look not as dumb. You know how tough
I was
it
gonna
is
say
to be dumber than Nate?
Nate's I don't want to say Nate's the smart one, but Nate is the more cognitively present one. We'll say that.
Impressive. All right, Brad.
Yeah.
So this is the worst guy that Brutal Bob has faced since Bobby Volker.
Since Nick Diaz last fight. He had fought in 8 years.
I just told you I hadn't watched that fight. So
don't even count.
If I haven't watched it, doesn't count.
Nick didn't even doesn't have good cardio anymore. He was like this fat loser.
It was bad. That was
pretty good training for Brian Barberena, because Barberena is
punching bag.
We want to talk about Lawler being like old, and I think he's kind of more the doesn't pull the trigger quite enough, as opposed to his body's just completely broken down, kind of washed. But that's against Covington and Askren and Magny and
strikers.
Yeah, the guys that aren't even going to give a chance to throw punches.
Covington, Askren, Fitch, just big brutal strikers.
Jake Shields. He's going to have chances to throw in this one. And when he throws and lands on Barberena is going to feel it.
Let's go.
I don't know that he's going to get him out of there, but man, few dudes hit as hard as Robbie Lawler hits. And I think that he's pulling this one off. I don't quite understand it. I know their recent form, and he's only got the one win in forever. But man, it's not like Barberena's beaten anybody good at this point. He beat a 52-year-old Matt Brown barely, and a bunch of guys that I've never heard of, and looked awful against pretty much all of them. So I'll take Lawler here, basically even money. I think I got minus 120. It's probably going to end up being even better than that when all's said and done, because everybody seems to want to fade Robbie Lawler in this spot.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is bad. This is a bad fight. I'll pick Lawler. I don't know how you can bet this fight with too much confidence. Lawler's only fight in the last few years against Nick Diaz, who hadn't fought in 8 years. He looked like he had been just like sleeping on his uncle's couch. the last 6 years is crushing Cheetos and not
Which
running
one of them?
whatsoever. And Barberena looks bad. I mean, that Matt Brown fight, that was not a good showing. I know it was fun and all that, but that was just not a good showing. But I can't trust Robbie Lawler. I don't know how anyone could. And, you got to lay some juice on Robbie Lawler in 2022. I don't know if that's the path I'm willing to go down. So I will be picking Robbie Lawler in this fight, but it's not a fight I'll be betting. All right, let's now move on to the bantamweight division as we have Pedro Munhoz taking on Sean O'Malley. Wes.
Whew. I think you got a good chance there, Lance, of getting your most hated fighter a loss,
Fuck
man.
Twig legs. I'll fuck him up.
I mean, Pedro's getting a little older, man. This dude's been in some absolute bangers over the years. The miles are definitely adding up. And Sean O'Malley, like, we can't argue it. The dude, he hits a little bit. Like, he's got some pop, man. Say what you will about the dude. But I think this is a decent matchup for Munhoz, man. Like, we know he's still got the chin. It could go at any time, don't get me wrong, but it's still holding up. We've seen O'Malley get kicked in his fucking little toothpicks before. And I think Pedro Munhoz is gonna be fucking trying to kick those fucking legs, man. It's a big price, man, on a legit guy that's got some pass here, dude. So I gotta absolutely take a shot on Pedro Munhoz at this point. I might wait to bet. I mean, I think I see like a plus 260 at Mason Book at this point. That's insane. That is fucking stupid. I think it could get better. I think that O'Malley is gonna get played here, man. He's got a lot of fucking he's got a lot of these younger kids like on the internet and shit because he games and shit. He's on like Twitch and this shit. Well, they're doing like this gaming shit all around Vegas and shit. I think you're gonna have a lot of mooks around Vegas betting money on Sean O'Malley this weekend. So it'd be really nice to watch Pedro Munhoz fucking take one of his legs home. Plus 260 is crazy. That's probably that. I mean, that's worth it right there. I might wait a little bit longer, see what happens.
Brad.
Yeah, the plus 260, silly. I actually took a line earlier in the week that was lower than that I can still cash out, which I might do and move over to Mason Book to get that plus 260. But Pedro Munhoz, he throws like 40 or 50 leg kicks every fight. And he's not going to throw 40 or 50 leg kicks in this fight because after he lands 3 or 4, O'Malley's just going to collapse in a heap. And I don't know if Munhoz is going to be able to finish him on top. At least with strikes, kind of like Vera did. He might need to go to a guillotine or something like that in a scramble. But if they get back up to the feet, he's just going to keep going back to that leg. And I kind of think that we're in store for a Pedro Munhoz leg kick TKO from my hated calf kicks, which I'll put an embargo on the hate for one fight, just so that I can see Sean O'Malley get his leg shattered, and hopefully he'll shut the fuck up for once.
Yeah, I'm with the guys here. I like Pedro Munhoz here, and I think this is a tough matchup. I know O'Malley's only calling out old guys or unranked guys, but I think he called out the wrong old guy in this one, just with the styles. We've seen O'Malley with his legs. I mean, Cheeto landed a couple leg kicks, and that leg was just absolute toast, and then he quit and cried, and then filmed a TikTok, whatever that fucking loser does. Munhoz kicks probably harder, I would say, than Cheeto. I think he has better leg kicks. I think he's a tough guy too. He's hard to put out there. Munhoz is not going to quit. He's not going to get beat up. He's going to keep moving forward. And I think when you look at a grappling, I think Munhoz has a very large grappling advantage here too. So if Munhoz has to resort to the wrestling and he can get him down, I think he's 100 levels above toothpick legs, and I think it's just a lot of ways to win for Pedro Munhoz. I'm not completely convinced that he is washed at this point. He's 35, he's getting a little older, but I mean, this guy lost to Aljo, Frankie, Aldo, and Cruz. O'Malley's fighting sandwich artists. So, if you look at it, for the most part, Munhoz has been beating who he's supposed to, and he's been losing to who he is.
And then close with all of those top guys.
Yeah, Frankie beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
but the rest of them
he should have probably thought about retiring after the beating he took.
Yeah, Frankie's beat the fuck out of that guy.
Man,
but I like Pedro here. I think he's got a million ways to win this fight, and I think it's leg kicks. I think it's wrestling. I think it's toughness and chin. And Muniz got some heavy hands too. I mean, we saw, who was that little tiny fucking guy that gave fucking O'Malley fits? That little guy. I think he already got cut. Who was fighting up. Yeah, that guy beat the fuck out of O'Malley. If you're letting Munhoz tee off on you like that, that's night. So, like Pedro here, plus 250, totally worth it. All right,
Donowitz. We got a Donnie Donowitz.
Donowitz, sure. We can go. We can have Donnie here. We can go a little Donnie Donowitz here. All right, middleweight division: Sean Strickland, Alex Pereira. Brad, I guess we'll go with you on this one.
I suppose we will.
He's good.
Alex Pereira is an excellent kickboxer. Very good with the kickboxing. A lot of power. Honestly, I was kind of impressed with his wrestling defense and ability to scramble back up in his last fight against some Brazilian brawler who can't really grapple at all. It's going to be interesting to see how that grappling plays out against Sean Strickland. Because we've seen Sean Strickland. We know that he can jab. We know that he can go to a decision. I don't think that's his best path to victory in this fight, although I don't think it's completely out of the question for him to just stay super busy and just kind of smother Pereira with volume in this one. But if Strickland is smart, and as much as his public persona would have you believe otherwise, once he gets in the cage, I think he is actually pretty smart. He's going to wrestle here. And I don't think that he's just going to overwhelm Pereira. I don't think that he's going to get super dominant positions and immediately get a sub. I mean, the last dude that he subbed was Bubba McDaniel back in like that dude was the ultimate quitter. Just complete head case. Love it. I don't think that he's going to get him out of there that easily. I know some people took a shot on a big Strickland sub line here. For me, it's same old story as always. Strickland decision. He's going to land some jabs. He's going to close the distance. He's going to get takedowns. He's going to push him up against the cage. He's going to wear him down. And I think that what Pereira has learned in Glover's garage is going to allow him to survive the grappling sequences and not get dominated too much there. But I don't think it's going to be enough for him to win the fight. So I like Sean Strickland. Plus 300-ish by decision. I think that's a crazy line that we're probably not going to see again for a while.
Brad or Wes?
Yeah, I'm with Brad here. When this fight got announced, man, and the line opened, like I thought it was kind of crazy, man. I know it got tighter, and I've been big on Pereira, but this is different, man. I think he's in there with the guy that is just such a better grappler and grinder and can get a hold of him. I'm also with Brad. A lot of people I see are talking about getting a sub here on Pereira, but man, Strickland can't finish a fucking 6-inch sub, dude. Like I think Pereira is good enough. Like Brad said, he's training with Glover to be able to survive that. So probably Strickland by decision here again. But I just think it's a great matchup at a great price. So this is a pretty big bet for me. It wouldn't be crazy if Pereira caught Strickland with something. Like we know Strickland is fucking dumb as shit, man. when it comes to fighting at times. And would you be shocked if he stood on the feet for a little bit with Pereira and ended up getting caught with something? No, he's not. He does dumb shit in fights. I think he's going to be smart here and he's going to grind. I like Strickland big, man. This is a 3-unit bet for me, however you want to measure that. But I like Strickland big here.
Yeah, I like Strickland a good bit here. I think we're thinking too much about this kickboxing aspect. I think Strickland has pretty good takedowns and he's suffocating on top. And I think while it's on the feet, Strickland's long. He's got a good jab. He works behind that jab. He's not the easiest guy to hit. He's not the easiest guy to finish. He is tough, so if he gets hit, I don't think this is one of those situations where when they're on the feet, Strickland's dead. I think he can work behind the jab and he can survive and work in takedowns, push him against the cage. And I don't know. This line is fucking ass backwards to me. Like I love Strickland in this fight. What's the line at now? Like plus 130, something like that?
No, plus 100.
Plus 100?
Yeah, even money.
Yeah.
Him plus money is any sort of plus money is weird to me. This is a proven MMA guy who's getting better and better. That's very well rounded versus a guy who's a kickboxer that has, some good power. And I think Strickland's going to absolutely dominate him. So this will be the consensus bet of the week on Sean Strickland. All right, let's move on. Couple main events. Let's see if we can get this done in 9 minutes. Featherweight division, Alex Volkanovski, Max Holloway. Wes, we've seen it twice. Sucked both times. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all kind of how you look at it. I enjoyed those fights. I think this one could have a little bit more action. I think Max is going to do what he's got to do, but Volk's he's been a little more active lately in his fights, a little more output, tries to go for shit. Man, I just think the other 2 fights were really close. I gave Max the second fight. I think you can get plus 180 here straight, and Max decision is at this point upwards of plus 300. Just think you got to take that, man, in a really close fight. Has Volk improved? Yeah, absolutely. Not a ton. He's been great. Like the dude's been what he is for years now. Like he's great. I still think Max is great. Think his output's going to be there. I'll take some plus 300 decision and a little bit of the money line.
Brad.
I don't really have a huge opinion on this fight. I mean, we've seen it twice at this point. It's been competitive for pretty much all 10 rounds. It's probably going to be the vast majority on the feet with a couple takedowns from Volk mixed in that Max immediately gets back to his feet on. Allegedly, takedowns mean less these days, but somebody should tell the judges that. So I think we're in for another competitive fight. I think there's a couple things that Max adjusted to in the second fight that gave him a bit more success there. I know people were a whole lot more up in arms about that decision. I was fine with both of them. But, man, it's competitive, and it's going to go to decision. I've got a little bit of money on Max by decision at plus 320. And the other line I took because I had a nice free bet at DraftKings. Thank you for the NHL promo. Max by split or majority decision plus 1,100 because one of these judges is going to be confused and score it the opposite way from the other guys, and hopefully it goes my way.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add on this one. I mean, the first 2 fights were close. I thought the second fight was closer. I still thought Volkanovski won that fight. These guys just don't make fun fights. We've seen 50 minutes of this. Not fun. Wasn't a good 50. And I don't see this.
It was good. It was good, but not like
it was bad. It was not good.
It's good fighting. They're both very good fighters.
Oh, nothing against them, but when they fight, it sucks. It's not fun. I don't want to see it again. I'm going to watch it, whatever. I'm not going to bet this fight. I'm going to root for Max because I like Max. But I think Volkanovski wins this fight. I think he just knows how to beat him. I think just squeaking out these rounds is what Volkanovski is good at, and I think we're going to see that again. So I think Volkanovski is going to another close fight. People will cry about it, but I think Volkanovski edges this one. All right, let's go to the main event, middleweight division. Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier. Not very competitive. Wes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little torn about this fight. I'm still going back and forth, man. I think Cannon's got the game to give Izzy some problems. Not saying I'm betting. The line's just up there, man. I think this could be close for a little bit. I think Cannonier is probably going to have to like get him down and land some ground and pound and hurt Izzy, something like that to win this fight. The longer it goes, it's probably going to favor Izzy. Like Cannon, he's definitely doesn't have the gas tank that Izzy does. I don't know. I'd probably pick Izzy at this point. I just think the line's a little wide, man. I think people's kind of underselling Cannon in this spot. And the guy's good, man. Like he hits like a fucking truck. He's got some grappling and grinding in him. And is he had problems with the times he's had problems, the loss that he's had. I'm just saying it's close. So it's Izzy for me right now, but I don't know, man. I'm split on it.
Brad.
So Izzy's one loss is to a light heavyweight that was able to slow down the pace and kickbox with him quite effectively, and then go to his grappling a little bit. And Cannonier isn't a great or dedicated wrestler, but this is a massive dude that was a former heavyweight. And if he gets into the clinch with Izzy, I think he can toss him around a little bit. I mean, Thin Izzy has that nickname for a reason. And it's not because the boys are back in town. It's because he has those O'Malley legs and arms and body. He's just a fucking toothpick all over. I do not like Israel Adesanya. I do not find most of his fights enjoyable. I think that, chances are, I mean, he's a minus 450 favorite or whatever, and this line keeps going up. At the start of the week, I said I was probably going to bet Cannonier. I'm going to keep waiting because I think this line's going to keep climbing, and so I'll probably take like plus 400 or something on Cannonier when it gets there. So I'm fully prepared to lose that and win all the rest of my bets, but I have to do it for the brand at this point.
Y'all bet against Izzy at way lower prices. Like you can get 400 this time. Y'all bet against that dude at like 2 and shit. No, Costa wasn't even that, I don't think.
I made a bundle off Jan though.
Yeah. Oh, I've bet. The only time I've bet against Izzy, I've won. Like I hit, and this is the second time I'm thinking about it.
There we go.
I want Cannonier to win this fight. Trust me. I've been a day one Adesanya hater. I mean, but first on the train of I hate this fucking guy, I hate everything about him. Everyone came up, everyone thought he was funny and so cool and exciting. And I was like, fuck this guy. And then he turned in to easily the most boring champion in the UFC. It's not close. I don't believe anyone that says that. Anyone who says they really like Adesanya has not watched him fight in the last 3 years. Every fight of his is boring.
The Costa fight wasn't boring. That was great.
He had
the work he's put on.
He had calf kicks to win, and that one doesn't count.
The Whitaker fights were good. Those were good fights, man.
He is so
that
boring.
wasn't during an official calf kick embargo, so that's just some. So if you're a champion in the UFC and you have to resort to calf kicks, that's just fucking embarrassing.
Those were good fights.
Boring. He's boring.
Those were good
He's
fights.
super, super boring. He's very boring. He points fights. He does nothing.
He finishes guy. He finished dudes. What do you mean? Like he fucked them up and finished them. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I'm not saying. I get the argument that he's got. I can't argue that he doesn't have boring fights and boring moments. He absolutely does. But he's got great fights on his resume and good finishes too.
Yeah, those were like 5 years ago.
Costa wasn't that long ago.
Let's see, he's had.
Yeah, but that was the wine.
He's had one finish in the last 3 years, pretty much. That's pretty good. That's like a finishing machine.
I just bet Cannon plus 350 and let's.
I'm not betting Cannonier. I don't think he's gonna win this fight. I don't think he can wrestle like Jan did. I don't think he can stay heavy on top like Jan did. I think on the feet he's too fucking slow. I don't think he can get there. When we've seen these big, powerful strikers fight Izzy, they can't hit him. We saw it with Costa. We saw it with Yoel. Guys who are faster can make contact a little bit more, but these big guys with big shots can't hit him. So I think this is going to be 25 minutes of absolute boringness. My only firm prediction is I'll probably fall asleep for probably the second, third, maybe fourth round. Maybe I'll wake up at the end to see the result. It's going to be fucking awful. It's going to be boring. It's going to be terrible. But Adesanya is going to win all 5 rounds with not even the slightest hint of finishing this fight. He's not going to attempt to finish this fight. So I'm down for that. Muniz, Chimaev, I don't care. I want Adesanya gone. He's awful. Like, I'm not a big Chimaev fan. Chimaev, whatever his fucking name is. But he's fun. He finishes fights. He tries. Like, Adesanya fucking sucks. I don't want to see him fight anymore. But that'll do it for the show. That's all we got.
1 minute over.
1 minute over. It's my fault.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back next week to review this and break down what looks like one of the worst fights of the year, cards of the year. So thanks, guys.